Bringing up the desktop, putting my shoes on. Or I'm trying to. All right, I don't know what I did with my watch. It's around here somewhere, guys. I'll find it. I hope. It's going to be, hold on. What a start to the morning. Or at least the morning, my public morning. And who do we have? Big Banana. Our friend Derek is here. Hello, my friend. How are you? Thanks for being here. Very much appreciated. Long John is here, says it's not bad. What about yourself? Good morning so far. I just got something delivered. Speaking of bananas, I just got bananas delivered. So I might run and pick them up. This time of year, you have nefarious people afoot. Not bad people, just nefarious people who, porch pirates, people who see packages, they think Christmas gifts. I've had that happen before, and it's always been this time of year. It happened a bit during the COVID shutdown. So I'm going to run down after I get my shoes on. And we're going to bring that inside. I'm glad that you're well, Big Banana. Derek, my friend. Derek says, too, Big Banana, been going through a lot. Yes, you have. As late, which actually made me question my faith. But God is good. Just trials and tribulations. Hopefully we'll both have a blessed 2026. That's the prayer for both of you, for all of us. Cat says, good morning, sweet Yogi. That's me. Good morning, Cat. Good morning, beautiful cat. Hey, Anna. Hey, Sissy. Yeah, bananas don't do well. You're true, and you're right about that, and it is cold. Hey, Explorer, thank you so much for the jewels. Very much appreciated. Guys, we have Jackie Laura Jones coming up. Jackie Laura Jones is a longtime teacher, and she's a well-known teacher on the lecture circuit, making appearances. She wrote a book called Peace, Peace, not Pieces, and it's a great book. It's more than an introduction to the course. It actually just simplifies the language very concisely. She's going to be up this afternoon, 1 o'clock, all the way from Beverly Hills, California. And I'm really looking forward to talking to her. Tomorrow we have Maureen Muldoon, who is the founder of Miracles 365 Live. She's also, she was a well-known actress, and she's a course teacher as well. Oh, we have today, 1 o'clock. Shoot. Did I talk to Miss Blipper? I don't remember. Hopefully Miss Blipper will come on, and I'll see if she can switch to later this week. Remind me, please. I'm good, Anna. And then hopefully Sniper's going to be 10 out of 10 back up on the Esoteric Lounge. Friday, Dr. Shelia Patel. Anyone who has any issues sleeping or has some questions about Ayurvedic medicine or meditation, come by and ask her. All right, let me run downstairs because as Long John says, cold is not good for bananas. We did get snow. We got about 5 inches of snow here. So it's going to be an interesting walk because it melted a bit yesterday and now it's frozen over again. Be careful. I'll be back 1 second, guys. I'm going to have Kat entertain you guys while I'm away. Kat, take it away. Hey, Kate. Kate says, get a job, don't beg. I warned you. Well, if you warned me, I better take heed. Um, Let me go down. Maybe there'll be a stray newspaper and I can get the help wanted section and I'll get right on that. Awesome. No one's ever given me that advice before. Get a job. Why didn't I think of that? Here I've been sitting here begging for food from you guys, begging for attention. And man, what a relief. Thank you, my friend. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I apologize. Hey, Lady Sky. Man, no newspaper, so no job for me. And man, Kate, you got yourself in a bit of a sorry state there. You know what they say: think twice before you fart if you don't have a newspaper handy. I don't know who always says that, but hey, someone should. Hey, Hams. Sniper, how you feeling? Oh, Sniper is up in a cherry tree, so Sniper must be feeling pretty good. And lovely auto race. It's a rural South state, red states that uses the most food stamps. Do some research. Well, what have I missed? Um, long as it's Kate was a cater. All right, I've been going to read this. Yesterday we talked with. What do you guys think of Stephanie? Yesterday, our guest. We talked about angels. We talked about A Course in Miracles. We talked about channeling. I hope you enjoyed her as much as I did. I found, you know what? I love talking about angels, but when we sort of switch gears just a bit to, thank you, Derek. Derek sent some love. When we switch gears just a bit to Course of Miracles, I found her insights um, beautiful and clear and insightful. I'm going to read what a friend of mine wrote. If you give me a second. This is Kevin Stephen Price, Reverend, and he was actually up here a couple weeks ago. And I've been posting some shorts and long form content from him. Really enjoyed diving back in. He says, this is about my conversation with Stephanie yesterday. In this conversation between Eric McCarty and Stephanie Finn, we're offered a refreshing and expansive view of what can truly means to be alive, practice, and teach A Course in Miracles. To live, practice, and teach A Course in Miracles. So often the ego tries to turn A Course in Miracles into something rigid or narrow, a strict path with a single acceptable voice. This interview quietly dismantles that illusion. What comes through instead is a reminder that the Course calls each of us into a highly individualized curriculum, inviting us to discover our own voice and the form with which we share the one universal message of love. Rather than focus heavily on metaphysical theory, this conversation explores something far more lived and embodied. How Stephanie has allowed herself to become a conduit for angelic guidance, while remaining deeply rooted in the foundational principles of the Course. The results feel honest, spacious, and grounded, not sensationalized nor dogmatic. Eric's questions are sincere and steady, creating a space that feels less like an interview and more like two longtime friends sitting down for a meaningful exchange. Stephanie's responses are clear, humble, and transparent, offering insights without agenda. If you ever wondered, are angels real? Or how could angelic guidance possibly fit with the Blue Book curriculum? This conversation offers a thoughtful, non-dramatic exploration that may surprise you. Though Eric and Stephanie are in different countries, the ease between them makes it feel, though they're sharing a quiet conversation across a kitchen table, warm, curious, and deeply human. Well done, Eric and Stephanie. Thank you for both modeling what it looks like when sincerity, openness, and trust lead the way. He also recommends the channel. Very kind, but I agreed with everything he said about Stephanie. And just a beautiful opportunity to sit across from her and have that conversation. For those who joined, thank you very much. For those who might want to join, it is up there. So there are political channels where you can talk political. I'm not a political channel, but we skirt the edges on occasion, but it's always done with kindness. So let's keep political conversations to, if you want to insert something in, just make it a kind comment. Hey, Miss Hill L. Thanks for coming in. He says, sup, homie. Sup. That's right. I said sup. Sissy says she was lovely and could relate as a lot of what she shared resonates. Our A team are on their A game. I wondered what you thought as we're in your wheelhouse with this. I agree. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Reiner both dead. I saw that this morning. Wow. All I can say is wow. Such great movies. The Princess Bride. Spinal Tap. When Harry Met Sally. Stand By Me. Holy cow. Of course, those of a certain age, meaning me, meaning old, uh, remember him as Meathead and All in the Family, a classic TV show. Been around forever. He was 78 years old. He was still vital, still making movies. He was, speaking of politics, he was very politically active. Hey, Zoin. Hi, I play violin. Awesome. I love violin. It's a beautiful, beautiful instrument. I'm torn between that and the cello being my favorite instruments. The cello is so deep and has this resonance to it. But both are beautiful. Both, they're like heartbreakingly beautiful. I'm going to bring up some classical music today, I think, and just sit and vibe to it. Wish I could have music playing. Wish I could have music playing while we live streamed. Zoin says, I have a cello. Nice. I guess if you can play the violin, you could play the cello. I actually read an account, I don't remember her name. She was a very, very well-known violinist in a major city's orchestra, and she switched to the cello and happily retreating in the background. And she was asked in an interview, do you miss it? Do you miss, having these star performances as a violinist? All the attention on you? And she said, no, because I'm fulfilling my part within the whole when I play the cello. And that's where she wanted to be. But it was a beautiful answer. Maddie, my friend, how are you? Maddie, how are you feeling? Hope you're feeling better, my friend. Prayers to you. Yeah, I saw that, Long John. They're investigating homicide. What a weekend of violence, guys. From Brown University to Australia to now Rob Reiner. Prayers. This was a tough time. Stephanie had mentioned that the guidance she received is that darkness before the dawn, right? There'll be an awakening, but we'll go through some dark stuff. We can lessen the darkness. One of the things we talked about, one of the things I wrote about this morning, is the script. The script is written, which might seem like a fatalistic view. How can the script be written, and what does that mean as far as choices we make? Maddie says, I'm slightly better. Chloe is worse. Maddie, I'm glad that you are better. We're ringing the bell for Chloe 3 times, sending out prayers for Chloe. Prayers for our good friend Chloe. You're welcome, Maddie. You're welcome. I have a friend who plays bassoon. I'm trying to think of the bassoon right now. It's escaping my mind. I love the mandolin too. So I love all the bluegrass instruments. Not that the mandolin is strictly bluegrass. It's actually pretty big in Celtic music as well, right? Maddie says hello to Big Banana. Maddie says best she is using her voice. Maddie, let her know that she's in our prayers, please. I'm going to read what I wrote about a script is written. Let me put my watch on, guys. I'm not looking forward to going outside. Not because it's cold. I don't mind walking when it's cold. It's all about the gear. You got the proper gear, you're good whatever the weather brings you. And thanks to previous days when I was ultra running and stocking up in gear when I could afford it, I'm good to go. I don't see, except for shoes and socks, I don't see anything wearing out. You don't wear out a hat. You know what I mean? I don't think so. It's not like my head is doing anything except sitting on top of my shoulders. I don't use it for much. I love the French horn. I love the saxophone. I'm a big, you know what? I love the clarinet too, but I'm a big jazz fan. We still haven't figured out what someone who plays the clarinet is called. Someone said if you're in the marching band, it's called a nerd, which is pretty funny. Thank you, Maddie. Maddie says we'll do. Sissy says a lot of what she said is all over my sessions. Receipts of resignation. I will not likely ever do personal angel messages, but I admire her will and dedication. Awesome. Hare Krishna, my friend Tom. Hey, Fred. Fred says, this is Fred. He coined this term. He's going to catch it on. If you're feeling the vibe, like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, Long John. Long John says, hope you're well, Maddie, and sending healing vibes your way. Thank you guys for joining in. Hey, Daniel. Daniel, how are you? Zoe says, oboe. It's another deep instrument, isn't it? Fred says, an instrumentalist. So that's what I mean. I was just thinking, if you're a piano player, you're a pianist. If you're a flute player, you're a flautist. Double bass. Is that what an oboe is? What's your favorite music, Zoin? So let me read what I wrote. It's about free will and the script being written. Of steps and free will. My own sense of free will has been narrowed to the scope of two choices, each unfolding very differently in the possibilities of the outcome, and only one of them based entirely on the reality of love. A Course in Miracles reminds me that the script is written, meaning that my welfare is assured in heaven, and indeed salvation has already occurred. This isn't a metaphysical statement. Heaven isn't a distant achievement granted by some capricious God. It is here, now, and as St. Catherine of Siena beautifully stated, every step of the way to heaven is heaven. So my only real choice is in choosing a step towards heaven or the illusion of distance between myself and God. Yet the script has been written, I'm already home, and my every step is a mindful prayer that this is so. That is my thoughts on one, free will, choice, and where we truly, truly are. What do you guys think? All right, Zoin says, rock and roll. Do you have a favorite rock era? Man, for me, you guys could disagree. Feel free. I never mind if anyone chooses to be wrong. But rock really fell off the charts by the time we hit the mid 90s. I'm not a huge grunge fan. I don't dislike it. But for me, it seemed like that was the last major movement in rock. What came after? Name something that came after. You had the beginning of rock, which sprung from rockabilly, that combination of gospel and country, particular kind of country. Those two coming together, and it brought us rock and roll. Rockabilly sound. Johnny Cash before he went country. Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins. And then, of course, things got really watered down in the late 50s and early 60s. Neil Sedaka, still around making music. He did a heavy metal album at one point. Um, it got very, very, by the way, I love the Everly Brothers, late 50s, early 60s. They did a country album in the 1970s that was completely awesome. Um, but it got very watered down, that Neil Sedaka era, until the Beatles. And everything changed with the Beatles. Beatles were a great rock and roll band in the early 1960s, up until 64-ish, when they started smoking a bit. And that's when Revolver, nope, Rubber Soul came out. They started hanging out with Bob Dylan. And they shifted everything around again. And then they started experimenting with some plant music. And that's when Revolver and Sgt. Pepper, everything, the course of music changed with the Beatles. And they brought everyone along. In the 70s, we had great music. Some bad music too. In the 80s, New Wave, the MTV era. Then the 90s, grunge. But then what followed? Anyway, that's just my thoughts. Tom says, I'm trying to learn Miranda Gum. Did I say that right? Long John says, Led Zeppelin. Big Led Zeppelin fan. Do I got any color socks on? I'm wearing black socks. The Beatles. You're laughing at the Beatles? Is someone really laughing at the Beatles? Queen's an awesome band. Long John says, Rocky Raccoon. Let's see. Hey, Stevie. Yogi's my kind of guy. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Led Zeppelin. You know what? Zeppelin 4 is one of those albums, every single track on Zeppelin 4 could be heard on a radio station. At one point, every track could be heard on a radio station. Not a whole lot of albums or bands could do that. You might have one that had like a song or two songs or even maybe a half dozen songs played. But every single song on Zeppelin 4 could be heard playing on a radio at one point or another. And every single song on so many Zeppelin albums, as well as so many Beatles albums. Don't laugh at me, JR. Or JF, Jeffro. Don't laugh at me. Every single, go ahead, you can laugh. So many Beatles albums where every song was a classic. Not that every song was great. Case in point, Maxwell's Silver Hammer, Octopus's Garden. Not every single song the Beatles made had to be made, in my opinion. Jeffro says, boring ass music? Well, I'm a boring ass guy, so it's only fitting. What hey Jeffro, what do you like? Thank you, Stevie. I am well and I'm doing pretty good. I appreciate it, my friend. How are you? Anna says, I'm good. How are you, Stevie? And thank you. Sai Alcida says, Becky, indeed. Excellent point. To be fair, though, I was born Specky. Stevie says, I'm having a bad start. Twisted my ankle. I'm sorry, my friend. What were you doing when you twisted your ankle? Jin says, greetings from Bolivia. One question. Are you in mating season? Nah, I'm 60. My mating season has done come and gone. If you mean mating as in wanting to have like children type, then my mating season's over. Pink Floyd definitely was. Definitely was. But you know, it's sort of weird that you would not like the Beatles, but you liked Pink Floyd. Any thoughts on the Moody Blues? Love the Moody Blues. Saw them in concert. 1980 something. I was guiding in a skip truck and slipped. Well, I hope it's not anything serious, Stevie. Jennifer says, I'm weird. Join the club, man. This is the place to be weird. Be as weird as you want. Long just says Pink Floyd jams out, inflatable pink pigs and whatnot. I did not see Pink Floyd in concert. I had several opportunities. I don't know why. J Fro says, okay, I'll join. Awesome. We get pretty weird here. Never know what we're going to talk about. J Fro says, I still need to fill the skip, so I hope not. I hope so too. I found if I keep moving, I was in a race once and I stepped on a rock. The rock gave out. I completely twisted my ankle. It immediately turned black and blue. When I limped into an aid station, they're like, you should probably drop from the race. Go to the doctor, get it wrapped up, all that stuff. For whatever reason, intuitively, I thought, you know what? I'm better off if I keep moving. It'll keep it mobile. Nothing felt broken, just very, very badly sprained. So I kept running. Now, it helped that I was wearing barefoot shoes. I was wearing my Vibram Five Fingers. And by the end of the race, it was swollen. It was painful, but I was able to keep moving. The next day, I was able to go out running, and I just ran through the whole experience. You know, maybe for a month, was swollen and bruised, but I don't know, for whatever that's worth. I appreciate that, J-Fro. It's a short live. We're going to end it in a bit. Stevie says, I agree. I'm going to tie up my boots and keep moving. Hey, if you get a chance, stop in. I'm live 3 times a day. Just let us know how you're doing, Stevie. Prayers to you, my friend. You know what, Tom? I'm not a huge Stevie. I wasn't a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. He was another one I could have seen in concert. He immensely talented. Some people like his version of Voodoo Child better than Hendrix. No one should ever like anything more than Hendrix, is my opinion. Just my opinion. Thank you, Stevie. Appreciate that. Good luck today. And yeah, he was, you know, again, immensely talented. But not my cup of musical tea. And it says, let us know how it goes, Stevie. Thank you, Anna. I got my workout in a little bit. Today is kettlebell snatch day, a 6-minute set, 1 arm switch in between, followed by 1 arm jerks. I haven't been able to do pull-ups for over a month because I got tendonitis in my bicep forearm insertion point. Hey, Susanna. I missed doing pull-ups. But I'm still able to do the kettlebells, so that's something. And again, we have a great guest at 1 o'clock. I hope you guys come and hang out with us. I got to send a message to Miss Blipper and let her know. Completely forgot. For some reason, I went through the last 2 weeks thinking that my guest, Jackie, thank you, Susanna, for dropping your link, was going to be at 5:25, but then she sent me a thing and said, I'll see you at 1. And I thought, crap. Susanna, I just brought your link up, and I'm going to watch it right after the live stream. Longdon says, Stevie, guarantee you just sprained it. If sprained, stay the hell off of it and use a band or belt to move it back and forth. Ice it as well. Exercises on YouTube. Thank you, Longshot. Tom says, when I get 50 subscribers, I'm going to go live with an interpretive dance to the Debbie Care theme song. Where are you right now? Because I really want to see this. I hope you're close. I hope you're like 1 away. Our friend Tom is only 12 away. And 1, I love I love interpretive dance. It's the only kind of dancing I can do. And I'm doing an interpretive dance to the music that's playing in my own head, no matter what else might be playing in real life. It's all an interpretive dance for me. And I love WKRP in Cincinnati. I had a bit of a magical moment watching WKRP when I might have been 12 years old. Tom, I got a little extra channel. It was my first channel when, YouTube first came out. So I just subscribed, which means you should only be 11 away. Is anyone here not subscribed to Bhakta Tom? I have a mission for the rest of the day is to get Tom to 50 plus. 11 to go. Anyway, I had, again, a magical moment, as so happens with music. I heard Van Morrison for the first time. I think I might have heard Brown Eyed Girl, but it never registered. It was just a happy-go-lucky song, right? Catchy, but nothing that really moved me. And then Dr. Johnny Fever, the DJ, the rock DJ, along with Venus Flytrap, of course, on WKRP, was playing Van Morrison's Caravan. Man. That song stopped me in my tracks. 1970, I think this was 78, so I was 12 years old, going on 13. It was the era of corporate rock. You had Foreigner, you had Boston. Boston wasn't a bad. Foreigner wasn't bad, but it was, you had Kiss. They were clearly like cookie cutter type music. It was based on a formula. It didn't feel organic. Of course, it's all I sort of knew. So I didn't question it. And then I heard that rawness of Van Morrison. And I was like, I didn't even know music could sound that way. In those teenage years. Now, of course, there was other moments leading up to that. Going back to the Everly Brothers. Going back to early Elvis Presley. I grew up on Elvis Presley with the Beatles. But for me, Elvis meant the stuff that I always heard. It was, Elvis died in 77. This was the fat Elvis, sad to say, period. I've grown to love the fat Elvis period. I'll tell you why, maybe, before we end this conversation, if we have time. Hey, Parajat. Hey, guys, make sure you subscribe to our friend, Back to Tom. Hey, Lincoln. I don't have any Pokemon packs. I would, if I had them. Longer says, Yogi did some interpretive dancing in the movie The Big Lebowski. Speaking of The Big Lebowski, guys, remember that I am legally a minister in the Church of the Big Lebowski. I've posted my certificate. If anyone here wants to get married through the Church of the Dude, I can do it. I'm a dude minister. And as a minister, I have the right, I can marry anyone I want at any time. Longday says, I love Van Morrison. Me too. When I first heard the rockabilly, the raw Elvis, That's All Right, Mama, Train, his version of Blue Moon, I was like, holy cow. This is just amazing that, like I said, corporate rock, everything was in the studio. And as much as I love the Beatles were to blame that. After they stopped touring, they went in the studio, they did some amazing stuff. But then everyone did. And music lost a little bit of an edge, in my opinion. It was produced, and the best music should be inspired. It should be intuitively coming through you in the moment. There's a place for the studio, and I love it. Again, I love all the studio albums from the Beatles, the Beach Boys, what Pink Floyd did in the studio. But you ever heard Janis Joplin do Summertime? YouTube it after the live stream. Janis Joplin's Summertime. And you'll know what I mean. Music, the best music, every time you hear a song that you've heard 1,000 times before, should sound like the first time you've ever heard it. It should literally smack you in the forehead like you walked into a wall of sound and be like, wow. And by wall of sound, I don't mean what Phil Spector did. Phil Spector, some say a legendary producer, not a very good human being, but a legendary producer, some say. I never cared for him too much because he developed a wall of sound, which for him meant he was packing in sound to every single space and crevice within a song. And as they say in Zen, it's the space between the notes that make the song. You need a little bit of silence hanging out between those notes. The best music should have a little bit of silence between those notes, using it artistically. I love the band. Hey, speaking of Van Morrison, The Last Waltz. Van Morrison doing Caravan again. There's that song. He did Caravan with the band. Amazing. Amazing performance. Oh, there you go. Long John says Last Waltz Caravan was amazing to say the least. There you go. Absolutely. I missed that. You're absolutely right about that. Hey, Reptile, are you still feeling jolly, my friend? I am feeling pretty jolly. Project says, so I wanted to say, Yogi, what's up? I observed my conditioning right away, so I'm doing well. Nice. I'm glad to hear that, my friend. Everyone wanted to make the new Beatles. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Anna says, the space between the notes makes the sound. I always love that. I always love that. It's the same that we can say with meditation. It's the space between the thoughts that reveal reality, not the thoughts themselves. Tom says, Suzanne, let me bring up Tom's channel again. I want to see if he's got any new subs. You're at 41. 9 to go. That was 9. I had a 5 on this hand. You guys are thinking, wait a minute, that was 4. Nope. So if anyone here is not subscribed to our friend Bhakta Tom, who's been a good friend, we've only known Tom for a little bit. What's it been, like 2 weeks, Tom? And it's like he's always been here. Some people slide into our family or conversation, and they slide in so easily, and they belong so deeply that it's like they've always been here. Can't imagine them not being here. Prezat says, Yogi, all of my favorite band is The Doors. I can see why. Big Doors fan. The Doors was one of the few major bands that never had a bass player. That's the genius of Ray Manzarek, and that he could play the keyboard so amazingly different that he created a bass riff as he was playing. Watch out, Logan Paul. Project says, I'm 27, Yogi. It's amazing that you like so much of the older music, Project. It's also amazing how wise you are, how wise and insightful you are. Not that people can't be at 27. Me personally, I was a complete idiot at 27. Let me give another plug for our friend Tom, guys. Make sure you subscribe. 9 more subs and we get an interpretive dance. Two, WKRP. I sang that not long ago with our friend Chris, Nature's Dog Realm, when we did our TV show theme song night, which we have another one. I believe it's the 21st or the 22nd. But we're going to do mostly Thank you, Environmad. We're going to do mostly Christmas stuff. Someone asked if we would do Feliz Navidad. Jose Feliciano. He's known for that song. Many don't know what a wonderful guitar player. And speaking of the Doors, he did a fantastic version of Light My Fire. Amazing performance. He also, for those of a certain age, if you remember Freddie Prinze and Chico and the Man, he did the theme song for Chico and the Man. This was back when TV theme shows were actual songs, and they stand out. Tom says, Tom still acts 27. Hey, Alex, thanks for saying hi. Tying things in. Eddie Albert, who was the Man in Chico and the Man, was also the grandfather in the original version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. His older sister, and I don't remember her name, was played Darren Stevens' mother in Bewitched. Many of you might know that I am actually friends with the original Darren Stevens, Dick York's son, Christopher York. It's a shameless plug for my obscurely famous Facebook friends that I have. Speaking of Van Morrison, I am friends on Facebook, actual conversations back and forth, texting each other with Van Morrison's ex-wife, Janet. And Janet, if you guys remember the album Astral Projection, where Janet Planet is mentioned, Janet Morrison was the original Janet Planet. So yeah, I'm this close to obscurely being famous for knowing obscurely famous people through no effort on my own. Anna says hi to Alex. Sissy says I had 3.5 kids and was working a few days a week at a bingo hall at that age. Interesting. Hey, Abdullah, how are you? Yogi, it's magic. It's all magic, my friend. Favorite album of all time? Oh, let me think. Probably Beatles, Rubber Soul. Beatles, Rubber Soul. Hey, Jessica. Jessica, good. How are you? Jessica says, are you Jewish? I am not Jewish. However, I do have a deep love Jewish people. I have a deep love for Jewish mysticism, the Kabbalah, Jewish humor. They have brought so much humor. Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner, Norman Lear, Isaac Bashevikov Singer, Jewish literature. First, let's talk about Karma Yogi. Karma Yoga Yogi. All right, I got about 2 or 3 minutes. As we know, as we talk about this is definitely a freak show, man. This place is full of freaks, Ronnie. If I were you, I would run. I would back out of here very, very slowly until I got to the edge, and then I'd sprint completely out of here. You do not want to get sucked into the Yogi vortex. Everyone you see here, they entered here inadvertently. They're like, hey, let me check it out. Seems like an easy enough old guy to hang out with this bald guy for a couple seconds. Hit the like button, say hi. They've never left. This is like a Twilight Zone episode. They've been here ever since. It's just one episode replaying itself. We're all stuck. See? That's what Dr. Tom says. Now we're stuck. He's like pushing up against the vortex, trying to get out, and it's pliable. But there's no exit. There's no exit. Karma Yoga. As we know, karma is just motion. It's energy. It's not punishment. It's not retribution. It's not justice. It's the energy that comes back to us that we put out. Everything is energy. If we are, and here's the thing, energy is thought. We think it's just about action, but as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the ancestor to every thought, the ancestor to every action is a thought. So karma is traced all the way back to our thoughts. Had a conversation about this the other day with someone, with Lisa Natoli last Monday, when we talked about how we see Facebook posts where someone's boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with them and they say, I believe in karma, you'll get yours, which just involved you and that other person's karma. It's inescapable. If you are wishing ill will, even if you think you're justified upon another, you've stepped into that karmic energy. Karma is consequence. Action, reaction, action, reaction, and it's never ending. Because every cause and effect, every single cause has infinite effects, and each one of those effects have infinite causes afterwards. So it's just this circular pattern. However, there are ways of transcending karma, and Krishna offers 4 ways in the Bhagavad Gita. There's a 5th way. Karma yoga is using our karma to elevate ourselves to better karma, not escaping it, because we're still in that cause and effect, but we're creating a better cause and better effects. We are using our actions to be of service, and the ultimate service is to be of service to God, to Krishna. Then we have jnana yoga, and this is when we start transcending karma a bit, because when we realize that we are the observer, the witness to everything, cannot be someone who suffers the effects of karma. The witness is pure, unconditional, and causeless. The witness is who we are in relation to God. Pure awareness. So there can't be, from that aware state of who we are, that has no cause, and is simply the witness to every action, there can't be a karmic lingering effect. So jnana yoga is a very powerful way of transcending our karma. Then we have royal yoga, Raja yoga, which is a longer path. Starts with ethics, breathwork, asana. This is what we traditionally think of as a yogic path. But it leads us to a state of samadhi. Samadhi is when we recognize ourselves as the witness. So again, we are transcending karma, because when we're in that silent state of pure awareness, we're not producing any karma. So it's like we're cleansing the slate. And then some say the surest and highest form of escaping the karmic input and output of the world is bhakti yoga. And you can ask our friend Bhakti Tam about this. And this is when everything is given to God. Every single one of our actions is devoted to God. We become an open conduit for the will of God. Some might say it's the purest form of yoga. Nisargadatta Maharaj said he taught Niskara yoga, which is a spontaneous witnessing state, escaping karma through that. Now, I said there's a 5th way, and this isn't mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. This is why I consider A Course in Miracles to be yoga. Forgiveness erases karma completely away. Forgiveness. You've escaped the cause and effect, because forgiveness is offered by Jesus in A Course in Miracles. And it's saying that I choose to see the Christ within you and not the body. I don't see your errors. I might recognize them on the level of the body. I might even take steps to prevent you from harming me. I might put boundaries in place. But in the level of the mind, the ultimate mind, not the brain, the mind. The mind is God, the pure intelligence of the universe. The pure intelligence that allows the universe to be. We could say that the mind is Brahma. When we relate everything through the mind, we're untouched and untouchable. Nothing can happen to us. It's this pure, undilated awareness. We're karma-free. That's it on karma. I gotta go. Hey, Tiger King. Hey, Death, welcome back. Where is... Hey, Jack. Long John just subscribed to Tom. Awesome. Is anyone here not subscribed to our friend Dr. Tom? He is 9 away, guys. 9 away from hitting that magical 50. I don't see Tiger King. Oh, can I tell you something, please? Sure. I got something to tell you too, Tiger King. And then I gotta go. What's up, pretty boy? Proof says, any tips on getting out of bed for things, non-necessary things? Lack of motivation or energy? Ways for getting more energy. Energy is, it's all pervading. It's already there. You just need to remind yourself and tap into it. 1 foot on the floor. Have something larger than yourself. Inspiration. If you start your day with breath work, tell you what, start your day with gratefulness. Be grateful that you can start your day. Be grateful that you have a bed to lie in. Be grateful that you have thoughts to tell you stay in bed or thoughts to tell you to stay out of bed. Just be grateful. Work on that. And then we'll start doing some breath work. All right, Tiger King said he wanted to ask me something, but I don't see him asking me anything. I don't know if he's still here. I did want to say something to Tiger King. It's something very important to tell him, but I got to go. But I got to go. I'm not looking forward to, he's at 42, 8 to go, guys. Again, it's not the cold. It's the, later, Jack. It is the ice on the ground, which keeps me from walking fast. Tom says, thank you, Lon. All right, so I don't think our friend Tiger King's here any longer. So I have to wait with what I wanted to tell him. I guess I was going to have to wait. We won't be able to talk today at 1 because I have a guest. So I got to go. I'm going to see everyone later. All right, take care.